There we are. Hey, y'all. Ooh. I thought moving the table over to the other side of the porch was going to help.
And it didn't work.
It didn't help.
I'm trying to hide behind this beam. How about that?
I see. Yeah, let me put on my regular glass. Look how old that made me look. There we go.
It'll be fine.
There we go.
Set something on your note paper there.
I got a note paper because I have a few notes.
Chris just watched your bee video.
Yeah. Well.
What bee video?
The one that we just posted. It ain't quite the.
You were getting set up for bees.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say I didn't post a bee video.
Was checking.
Maybe they went and looked at your older bee video.
No, it's the one we just posted.
Oh.
Hey, y'all.
Well, that was more pig peeing video.
Jody got started. She visited 80 alpacas yesterday.
Oh, my. I'm glad you will not have 80 alpacas.
Ooh. I know it. Sarah's sitting outside with us. Hey, Alan.
Sarah's outside may be a lot different than ours.
Ours is a little bit sticky.
It's not as bad today, though. It's got a little breeze. It's not bad. Hey, Miss Sue.
Yeah. It was her birthday present to herself. That's a good kind of birthday.
You give yourself a birthday present and just go visit. How about that?
Hey, y'all.
You can just go visit 80 alpacas. How about that?
In Australia?
Well, no, not there.
I'd do that.
That'd be a little bit far away. Hey, y'all make sure you hit the like button. We've been forgetting to remind you. If you're in here, hit the like button. Let us know you were here. It's been a very busy week, though.
Oh, man, I'm tired.
72 with a slight breeze is what she said. I would take that every day.
You know what I've realized? 72 inside and 72 outside is way different.
Well, yeah, especially in Alabama.
I really like 72 inside.
Yeah, I know.
That means I'm not doing a whole lot.
Sharon would like to know how the goat's doing.
She is doing wonderful. Everybody, hey Maggie, everybody, she's back to normal. She got tangled up in the pen, and I was concerned. I was very concerned.
Well, when you first walked up on her, she looked dead.
She did. Luckily, it was morning, and she didn't have to stay like that all day. I was concerned. I got her to the water, got her some water in her. She hobbled for a little bit, but before we left, she was running around with everybody else. So I contributed it to her being like she wore a headband, like she might have put a rubber band around her arm too tight. That's how I contributed it. And so, it kind of makes you a little numb, a little sore, but we got it off of her and she is fine. She's back up and going and she ain't slowed down anymore, has she?
No, she's fine. She's back 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw someone ask, before we get into it too deep, if we had gotten any honey from our hives. Why don't you come back on Tuesday and see?
Well,
I've got a feeling that they probably watched Miss Cog Hill. They pulled about 200 pounds off of hers, and during the video...
Oh, I need the sun to stay like this.
Yes. During the video, Tanya actually said, I'm taking all the stuff over to Chestnut Hills next. And
she did.
Well, we had the question, have you gotten any honey off there? So,
well, the answer is yes. We can't just say come back.
Well, yeah, because
I got something to show y'all. But the answer is yes, we got honey, but I am not going to tell you how much honey we were able to harvest because it's going to blow
It was
your mind.
Kathy. I had to go back through there. Before I miss it, Wanda is new to the channel. Hey, Wanda. We're glad to have you. A&W and Alan are on here, so that means Wendy's not gone to church.
Well, that's usually on when we were doing Wednesdays.
Maybe it wasn't a Sunday night.
My
CS
poodle's
Nanny
ready.
is new and she wants to know if we live on our farm. We have talked about that previously,
That's one of
but
our
no,
biggest
that is
questions.
one of the biggest questions. No, we do not yet. We are still in the process of trying to make that happen, but we are about 7 miles away.
Yeah.
Kathy thinks we got more.
Brooks, 200 pounds is a lot.
200 pounds is a lot of honey.
It is a ton of honey. G&G said, am I getting a poodle? I
Look
mean,
at Sarah with her
I
post. I had to
know.
stick that up there. She runs us a commercial.
I
Sarah
love
is
it.
our best unpaid employee.
She is. I'd pay her if I could. I just can't. I got too many animals. So, Wendy and Alan have some poodles, and I really want the brown and white girl. I really want the brown and white girl, and I've claimed her since the day she was born. And I'm just waiting on Nick to give me the okay because I really want her. She's hypoallergenic, which means she's not going to shed everywhere. And she's just so beautiful. And they're so smart. And Nick kind of changed the
No,
subject.
he said
Allison.
King have changed
Oh,
the
yeah.
subject. G&G, a poodle is not a farm dog.
That's right. She'll be my house dog.
Catherine, you know better. That ain't no farm dog.
Stella's a farm dog.
Anyway, why don't you show them what you got?
Hey, Valerie. We'll work for food, she said. Sarah said just send snacks.
As a matter of fact, while that sun's
might be
blocked,
a good time.
it may be a good time.
So, this is our very first jar of honey from Chestnut Hills Farmstead. You guys, look. I even saved a piece of comb because it was so beautiful. Y'all, I am so in love. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is just as clear and
That's
pretty
right.
amber color.
Yep. I'm just so proud of it. I actually was gonna give it to my mama, and I went back and took it back from her because I wanted this jar.
She's still getting a jar.
She is, but this is my
it
jar.
had the pretty clean.
This is the very first jar of honey harvested from our farm ever.
And Tuesday they'll find out how much we got.
That's right. And so I'm so excited, y'all. So we actually wanted to do a little bit of talking about honey today.
We do.
Let me see if I can.
You're fixing to make a mess. What you're gonna do?
Yeah, I don't want to. It's so pretty, and it smells amazing. So we did. We wanted to do a little bit of honey talk. So first, I wanted to tell them what Tanya would like for me to share.
Sure.
As with Cog Hill, she is going to be bottling up Cog Hill honey and Chestnut Hills Farmstead honey and labeling as such.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's interested in purchasing some, you are more than welcome to email her. She will be selling a pound of honey that she will ship anywhere. And she does not know yet how much she has. So once she does, we'll put it out how much honey is available for shipping, and she will take care of all that. So if anybody is interested, I'm going to put Tanya's email address, and you can you can email her about it and get on the list for if she has anything that comes available.
There you go.
Hidden Valley Honey at AOL.com. So currently we don't know how much.
We don't know how many jars she's going to have for sale because we've got a good estimate, but
right,
it's still waiting on everything.
So we'll have exact details, but honey will be available to be shipped. And
Kathy, I do have your husband on the list. I just added it on there. Sorry, but
B. Williams said she had about 300 pounds. She had it right about
Right
200.
right at 200.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it'll be the same idea for, um, it's the same email you would contact for Cog Hills, honey.
Yeah.
Miss Tanya's our friend, their friend. We're all just good friends, and she's been a great mentor for me. I've just thoroughly enjoyed working with Tanya.
Extremely knowledgeable. I had a short clip of the beginning beekeeping speech at Okie Homestead Expo
Mm-hmm.
in our video.
Yeah.
Zoe and I sat in there just to hear it, and I would be more of a beginner than Zoe because she's actually been mentoring under Tanya.
It's been
But
almost a year now. It's been right
yeah,
out a
it
year.
has.
It's been right out a year.
But I got a comment from somebody, and they were probably newer to the channel. They
Yes.
said, "Hey, you need to check out Cog Hill. The lady that they keep the bees for is very knowledgeable." And I was like, "Yep, it's the same one."
That's right. I love listening to other people talk about bees, but if I have questions, I go to Tanya.
Yeah,
If I have anything I want to know, I might look it up, but then I'm going to ask Tanya what she thinks because she just knows it. She loves it. She don't, like we talked about the other day. You don't just love it for the honey. You love it because you love the bees. And that made so much sense because you're going to take care of the bees because you love the bees, and in turn the bees know you're loving them and they give you the honey. And that was just such a good way to do that.
I bet Zoe can answer your question, Kathy.
Hmm? Well, okay,
Put
I
that question
know,
up there because you'll have an answer for this.
but wonder what they do for winter. So bees, I say I have an answer. I kind of have an answer
I've
for you.
heard Tanya kind of answer this question for when it's cold weather.
Yes. So bees store honey. So when you go in to do your extraction, you don't extract everything. If you noticed in some of our videos, Tanya had some hives that were 5 and 6 um, boxes tall. Well, we don't touch the bottom 2 boxes, and sometimes the bottom 3 boxes we don't touch
She said
because
depending on how they were kept.
that's right.
She
Well,
makes
your bottom
she
three,
makes sure that there's enough that's kept.
right? Well, your bottom 3 boxes is going to have your babies, your queen, your brood, which is your feed. It's going to have your nectar. It's going to have everything those bees need in case they have to resort back to what they already have. And so if we went in and harvested everything, when it came down time to for the bees to have to kind of hibernate in, they won't have anything to eat and store. It's like a bear. A bear's going to store all this in because hibernation, that's what they feed on. They don't go out and keep foraging. And it's the same way with bees. Bees have a storage tank, and they feed themselves off of that honey that they've stored away through the winter. It gets loud. And so, I mean, that's just what they do. Bees, that's why you don't see bees out foraging during the winter time. And it's just you when you harvest, what you don't harvest, you allow the bees to clean up. And that'll all be in that video too. We talked about it a lot of
It was in it
it was
was
in
in
Brooks.
Brooks,
Uh-huh.
and it'd also be in yours on Tuesday.
So if you saw Tanya in Brooks' video, she had wax scrapings that she cleaned out of her mesh. Um, what am I? What's that?
The filter.
Filter. I was trying to say sifter, and that's not right. And so she takes all that and she puts it out and she allows the bees to clean it because the bees are going to take that. It's like free honey. It's already honey. They've just got to take it back and put it back in there and hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so neat.
It fascinated me that you don't have to clean any of the stuff
No.
you use.
Mm-mm.
The trays, the extractor, none of the tools you have to use. You just put everything out on the table, and the bees clean up every
They
drop.
do.
It's none of it sticky.
No, you. I mean,
That's
you
it.
can go back and you just kind of rinse it out, wipe it down.
It's done.
Yeah, but that day you just set it out there. When you're done, a couple of days later, it's all going to be clean because they are going to take every bit of that with them.
So, Kathy, to answer that question, the severe cold doesn't kill them.
It can now, not to say that it won't.
Right.
Hey, don't.
I have learned from Tanya just the little bit I listen. Look, I don't work bees yet. I don't do anything with the bees yet. The only thing I do is edit the videos, so I get to hear everything she says. And I do know that they are really, really good at regulating the temperature inside their hive.
Yes. So we did. I asked Tanya. I said, Tanya, why are there so many bees on the outside of the hive? Are they getting ready to swarm? Somebody had mentioned that in a comment too, as well.
Yeah.
They said, are those bees look like they're ready to swarm? Tanya said, Zoe, you know when you have a bunch of company over and it gets hot in the house, and sometimes you just go sit out on the porch to cool off. That's all they're doing. The bees are just hanging out on their front porch. They don't want to go out and just mingle out about in the world. They just go hang out on the outside of their hive and cool off because bees want their hive a certain temperature. And once it gets too warm, they'll go outside and just hang out and let it cool down in there. And I thought that was such a cool way to look at it, is the bees are just hanging out on the front porch. And I said, that makes so much sense.
So I put the wrong one. Sorry, Arlene. Hey from Delaware, but I was trying to put Maine Nana Bear was reminding y'all.
The YouTubey things.
You know what? Janine's got a good question.
What's that?
What flavor is your honey?
I don't have an answer.
We don't know.
I don't have an answer for that because I'm not sure how to answer that. Just to be honest, I'm not sure how to answer that.
That may be a Tanya question.
I know.
We'll have to talk about that.
She might jump on here because she watches. So I'm just showing it again because it's beautiful.
But as far as a particular crop or something, it's not a particular crop. It's just raw, wild honey.
And it is filtered to an extent, but it is not filtered a lot.
I can tell you it's going to have a lot of blackberry and privet in it.
Yes, it will. It will.
And Tanya actually answered some things.
Honey flavored.
Honey flavored.
Clover.
Tanya actually answered some things about certain pollen that she looked for, and it was sumac and
she did.
Some other things she mentioned on Brooke's video. And I'm not sure, but I did hear her talk about certain pollens that she was looking for.
Yes.
And look, Tanya talks way over my head on honey stuff. I mean, for her to look in the hive and tell you where the pollen came from, that's way over my head.
Yeah.
But there's Kara.
Hey, Kara.
Hey, Kara. Her son plays on the baseball team. Y'all been wishing luck on here.
That's right. He's an all-stars as well.
A lot of y'all been wishing Chance and his team luck, and they'll be moving on to state coming up. So,
and a lot of honey is called fireweed honey.
Fireweed honey.
That's a pretty cool name.
Well, I tell you what.
I wish Tanya would jump on here because I could.
She could answer a lot of questions, couldn't she? So we looked up some benefits for honey, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Really creative travel.
First time on your live, but been a sub for a while. Used to live in Northeast Bama for 21 years, but lives in South Carolina now. Well, welcome. I'm glad to see you.
Ginger was talking about privet, the Alabama devil shrub.
That's
it smells amazing, but it's invasive. It is. And that is part of what we're wiping out around our pasture. But right there, if you look on the videos behind the hives, all of that is still super thick.
Yes, it is.
All of that is privet and muscadine
Hmm.
right behind the hives, and I've left that alone. We're not thinning that out. We're leaving that because it's quick, easy forage for the
Hmm.
bees.
That's right.
We also did not bush hog our pasture for weeks
Yeah.
beyond where I would normally cut because of the blackberries.
He's
Blackberries is one of the first things that blooms that they want, and that's where we've left.
Poor man said the weed that grows after a forest fire, the big, tall, purple flower on the top. We have those.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah. It's great for allergies, but it has to be local where you live. If I will say, if you're using it for allergies, if you're using it just for honey,
We are going to talk about that in a minute.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So Maureen's got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I love pig questions. Said my pig just had 11 piglets. How
Yay!
should I clean the pig after the labor? Don't.
Nature will do its job.
Leave them alone.
That's right.
They
Once you
are
start,
building antibodies from the minute they hit the ground. And if you watch our pig labor video,
mm-hmm.
by the time they got to their mother, they look completely dry and they look several days old.
Yeah.
They come out there slimy and in the sack, and they escape from that. They get to mama, start nursing, and they look like they were a couple of days old. You couldn't tell that they had just been born. So completely leave them alone and let
Mama's
them
the
build their
same way. You
antibodies.
leave mama alone.
Leave mama alone.
Yeah, because
You don't have to do anything.
once you start messing and cleaning, you start throwing her balances off, and her body, her hormones, and all. Her body is taking care of every bit of it.
I would completely leave that alone, just to not affect
Hey,
anything.
Renee Michelle. Ginger said her and her grandbabies picked a mess and cooked them down and had them over hot butter biscuits.
Of
Probably you were just talking about blackberries and muscadines.
Oh, okay.
The Maine Nana Bear said they had a buckling yesterday.
Oh, we are buckling heavy. We've got to downsize our goat herd a little bit.
It's going
And blackberries, yeah. Oh, I know that y'all hate to hear stuff like that, but we have got way too many bucks, and we have got to thin that out some.
I don't want it to become dangerous.
So
for our
the number
girls.
one detail I need to put is that we do not, especially with the breed we have, we do not raise goats for meat.
We don't.
They are supposed to be, once we get our program going, they'll be for milking. And Zoe will make goat milk products. But we're just building our herd right now, and you can't do that with a pasture full of bucks. So we do have to downsize some of our little fellas.
Right. Yep.
I saw Kara asked, do you have honey already?
So we just harvested honey on Friday, and we're going to have some for sale really soon.
Tanya will have some for sale really soon.
That's right. Yeah. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow at practice. Can send that honey out to Vancouver, Allen, BC.
You'll have to talk to Miss Tanya about that.
Oh, I'm going to let her handle all that. I'd be worried death I'd have a jar bust.
We're just providing the farm, but I can tell you, between us and Cog Hill, she got a lot of honey, but she still has she did her own farm.
Oh, she's got hives everywhere.
She's
having to take
that one by herself.
She did.
Without any help. She was talking to Brooke about it. But she has hives all over the place at many different farms.
I want to say 8
locations. I honestly don't know, but Tanya, boy, when it comes honey time, that is a busy, busy lady.
Yeah.
Well, she's busy anyway because she works her hives constantly. I mean, she works her hives all the time.
MC, I'm not. She could probably have it with comb in it if you request it. A lot of people don't ask for it, so she doesn't take it off the hive if she, so if she don't have, if that's not a request. But that was a, but I'm sure she
Renee
would.
Michelle has a good question. And I
Hmm.
do believe that what she ships is in plastic.
She does
What she
because
has in glass is for local pickup.
yes, that's what she told me. She will sell them for local people in the glass jars.
Yes.
And then she does
I believe
ship in
she does
plastic.
ship in plastic. So,
What?
benefits of honey, Zoe.
Yeah.
Do y'all harvest your bucklings or just sell them all? We don't harvest them.
Mm-mm.
No, that's the main point. Is we don't do goats for meat, especially Nigerian dwarfs, which is what we have. We just are going to sell off our boys
because they would be really good somewhere else. We have really
well,
good
here's the
boys.
thing: is that we have not sold a buckling yet. We have given bucks away to other farms
Yes.
that we knew who the people were. We actually bought a little buckling when we got Oliver and Johnny and Gypsy, and we let another farm have him because Oliver started to get aggressive with him.
Right.
His name is Oreo, and he is siring his own herd.
Mm-hmm.
He is wide open doing business, and he's a beautiful buck and doing just fine, and he is where he is. We traded 2 bucks for Holly,
Mm-hmm.
our livestock guardian dog.
Right.
So we have not sold any up to this point, but we have so many. All of our kidding season this year was buck heavy.
We only got 3 girls.
We got 3 girls out of the entire kidding season this year. So it's going to cause problems. It's already causing some problems, but it will be worse.
Yeah.
So we have to just um we have to let them
now
go
I'm
to other
not
farms.
against raising some for meat.
I wouldn't be, but not Nigerian dwarfs.
No, when it comes time to expand again,
we are a working farm, so I'm not against raising meat goats.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Right.
The Kikos that Daniel raises are for meat.
There's something humming over here.
I heard it.
Must be a bird.
The Kikos that Daniel raises are for meat.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's just not what ours are for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, making sure that everybody understands that when these little bucks that you've seen born and you've seen playing, jumping around, people keep Nigerian dwarfs for milk. They have a high butterfat content. So they don't produce a lot of milk, but they produce a high quality milk.
There's a chicken over here. It scared me a little bit, scratching.
So we're going to sell off our boats, just downsize a little bit. So if y'all start seeing the numbers go down, don't panic. We're not processing them and eating them. We're doing what we got to do to keep our herd healthy.
Catherine said Daisy's ready to borrow one.
Catherine can have her pick. I tell you what, Chester or Gus would be perfect for Catherine.
Yeah. Yep.
Either one of them. And Chester is actually breeding age, so he would be good. But they are both. Well, Jack is gentle.
But Jack is.
Jack is Daisy's son. Yeah. No, you can't have Jack.
Well, I was thinking if she wanted to go a darker.
We got color, peanut butter.
We got peanut butter, and then if she
peanut
wanted
butter
to
is that dark brown,
lighter with the spots, you could do Chester.
But Chester and Gus are both that white with the brown and black, so
they are almost identical.
They give you a tricolor.
I blame that on Mr. Jim and Nick and Eleanor because we had that debate on their names.
We did.
And I wanted to name Chester Gus.
And Jim was agreeing with you. He wanted Gus. And then me and Eleanor from Head Family Farm wanted Chester.
And y'all got Chester.
Eleanor won.
So then I got a spitting image of Chester so I can name him Gus.
Yes, that's how that worked out.
They're identical.
But either one of those would work good for Catherine.
Yes.
But Chester is starting to become mature and he's beautiful. He's gentle.
Yep.
So, but they both look the same.
Yeah. She says Kiko, Boer, and Nubians have all been used for meat, even if they're milk breed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I love Nubians because
Gypsy is a Nubian and Johnny is a Nubian.
Yeah. I love them. I love the way they look. I like how big they are. We just got into the Nigerian dwarfs because That's just kind of what people have around here, and
It
it's easier to
initially,
find.
so
Hey Jenna.
here's the deal, and
Hey Susan.
I'm gonna be completely transparent about this.
Darlene, we are in Alabama. Yes, we're in Central Alabama.
We went with Nigerian dwarfs because that was on the option list for using milk products.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe wanted to learn how to do goat milk products.
Yeah.
And we're still moving toward that. We're building our herd. So
Keep going. I'm
it
just
was an option. But we had a friend locally that had a Nigerian dwarf buck, a Nubian doe,
Mm-hmm.
and a Nubian wether that they needed to get rid of, and had a baby Nigerian buck, which
Yeah.
was Oreo.
Right.
So we went ahead and took them. We bought them, but it was more of a rescue kind of thing. Um, because they, it's not like she got the price she could have gotten from.
Right.
And I'm not going to say her name, but the lady knew us. She could have gotten a lot more for those goats, but
She
we
wanted
were,
them to stay as a herd.
yeah.
Because they had always been a herd.
And I actually dreaded sending her the message saying, "Hey, we had to let Oreo go to another farm."
Right.
She wanted them to stay together, but Oliver had
Mm-hmm.
become aggressive with him.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan was to get him back.
It was. But he
And
settled in so well.
we got Oliver to another farm. Oliver and Bucky went to a farm in trade for Holly.
That's right.
And Oreo is already settled and running his own herd, so we just left him alone.
Darlene said, are we near Birmingham? We are about 40 minutes from Birmingham. Right? You say about 40 minutes?
45 to 50, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about right.
Jenna's birthday's Tuesday, and she told her husband to get with me for strawberry whoopie pies.
I have been rattling on, Zoe, and we have not hit any of our notes.
No, we haven't. What are they doing?
Driving really slow.
With their turn signal on. Oh, flashers. Okay.
But you had a question.
Okay. So how is my protege doing?
So I had that in the notes too because I knew people were going to ask.
So our protege kind of got put on the back burner. We've had a lot going on, and those boxes are huge. And that's what I've kind of been telling people. The boxes are big, and having to fill them and all it can get costly. So we have 3 boxes that are up and going, and I actually finally have been able to harvest 2 peppers. Y'all, I know I am so far behind everybody else, but I planted heavily in one box, and I planted tomatoes and flowers in 2 other boxes. So I have some peppers, and I have.
I'm sorry, I've got to post this. We could not stay on here no 2 hours, Sarah.
We might go in and our kids be just knocked out on the floor. But I have tomato plants that are about this tall now.
We're so behind.
But it looks beautiful. That one box just looks beautiful. Did you put it in my video?
It does. It looks pretty.
I think it's for my next video.
I think it's for the next one.
But there's little flowers starting to bloom. I was able to harvest a jalapeno pepper and some kind of other pepper. I can't remember. And so, y'all, I'm just excited because I love tomatoes, and I finally have tomato plants that are just big, and I'm content with what I have right now.
So B. Williams just said, hang on. Some use logs and stuff at the bottom, then the good soil and compost. B. Williams, you are behind on videos.
So that is what
you need to catch up to us. Yes, that is what we did. We did not go with a traditional hugelkultur bed, but we did use that style. So yes, we did.
So now we just got left to add in soil and compost. So all of the beds
the ones we planted in have it.
Yes.
The
We
ones
have
that we planted in have soil and
have
compost.
soil and black cow compost,
That's right.
and so the other ones all already have logs and debris in
That's
them.
right.
And now we just got to add the soil and the compost. So I hope to have a fall garden.
That's right.
That's what I'm hoping for. At least adding a few more boxes, and then by next summer or next spring, we'll be able to have a full potager
So
garden.
y'all don't misunderstand that we haven't stopped completely.
No. Mm-mm.
The videos, y'all know this. Y'all watch Cog Hill, Arms Family, whoever. Y'all
Yeah.
watch plenty of channels besides us. Everybody is just a snapshot of their day.
Yeah, right.
You're seeing a few minutes. Y'all, it may be 3 days worth of stuff condensed into 15, 18, 20 minutes. So you saw in the video from Friday, Zoe finished up one day. Hey, we had baseball practice. We didn't get back. Finishing up the next morning. Hey, guys, that's just is the way it is. That's the only way we can do it. But the camper coop is continuing. The potager is continuing. We have other projects going that we just may be working on and not videoing just because it doesn't fit with that day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So it's just a little snapshot of what we've got working on. And B. Williams said, I'm trying. I joined when
That's
you
right.
Farmstead decided
That's
to
okay.
stay. We're
I'm
glad you stayed.
That's right. And I hope once we do finally, well, I hope, we will, once we get the potager where it's flourishing and all,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to do a before and after recap kind of video because it's
So
going to blow y'all's mind.
we did do several videos as we were building it to show you the process. But there is so much going on the farm all the time that some people would get bored if that's all we ever showed you. So Zoe is still continuing to work on that. She's got her 2 beds that she did get completed.
3.
3 beds? Sorry, 3 beds. We have the other beds that we're continuing working on. We're continuing to work in the rocks. It's still got to have a fence around it. That is an ongoing project.
Right. Like when you have an extra scoop of something, you'll run it up there to the bed and dump it in, and
so that is continuing to move forward. But all we can give you is we try to give you something that you can watch and completely not be bored. I don't want you to be bored with it. If I'm bored editing it, you're going to be bored watching it.
That's right. And Kara said All Stars is no joke. I don't know how you have time to do everything you do and then do videos too.
Well, Kara, that's why a lot of times you see me sitting on the outside fence because I'm in the car watching the ball game, editing a video. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's completely true. I have a full-time job, I work the farm, and I edit Zoe's videos, so I pretty much have 3 jobs. And with Chance playing baseball, a lot of times I just have to sit outside the fence and edit in the car.
Yeah. Well, especially during practice, yeah.
Cheryl, yes, we live about 5. Well, no, our farm is 5 miles from Jason and Brooke. We live about 12. Yeah. We're 7 miles from our farm, but yes, our farm is about 5 miles from them. Yes. So when you saw the farm sitting, Zoe would go in the morning to our farm and then go to Cog Hill, and then I drive by there going to work and home. So I would stop and handle it in the afternoons. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's how we did the farm sitting. Yeah.
She said a garden like that can get expensive quickly.
You ain't lying, Christy.
Nick told me today.
I missed Christy's question. I put it in my notes so I wouldn't forget. Okay. Christy asked what I use for editing. Christy.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
We use Filmora by Wondershare.
Filmora.
That's what I edit with. I'm sorry. I did see your question and I forgot to answer you, and I apologize.
So, can I talk about that?
Zoe, please do. Let them know because none of these people can affect that. But you go right ahead. Because if they're on here, they're already subscribed. But
Oh
yes, go ahead.
man, that's so true.
They might tell their friends. You just have to see. Tell them. And
So
you can tell them why because it was on the video. I included in the Okie video.
I know.
But you can explain it to them. Go ahead.
So if you guys watched the Okie recap video, Nick bought me an alpaca. Do y'all see me doing cartwheels? I ain't doing no darn cartwheels because he bought me a yarn alpaca.
It was an alpaca.
Well, actually, it was a llama, and she said it could be whatever you want.
The lady didn't have an alpaca. All she had was a llama.
So I got a llama paca.
We called it alpaca.
A llama paca.
She could not. She told me that crocheting an alpaca and a llama wouldn't been any different. Thing. She said, you can call it an alpaca because I do it the same. Well, perfect. That's an alpaca then.
So,
go ahead.
With all of my heartbreak, I was very thankful that he did buy me an alpaca. She wasn't
thankful at all.
At first, I was very thankful that he bought me an alpaca.
No, she wasn't. She was telling you a lie.
Well, then I got to thinking. At Bar 7 Ranch, she said Cody told her if she could get Miranda Lambert to comment on her video, he would buy her an alpaca. So Miranda Lambert commented on her video not once, but twice. And so she got 2 alpacas because Miranda Lambert commented twice. So she has alpacas named Miranda and Lambert.
She does.
So Nick told me.
Did you tell them who you're talking about? Erica and Cody at Bar 7?
Well, I said Cody. I didn't say Erica.
It's Erica and Cody at Bar 7 Ranch. If y'all don't follow them, go check them out.
Y'all, they are so funny.
They are so funny. Y'all think that we banter? Cody is my idol. People love Cody because he's a smart aleck.
If you look at Cody, you would think that he had no sense of humor at all.
He never never cracks
word, they are hilarious.
But y'all saw them on our video, and Erica just as sweet as she can be. We met them at the Creators Conference last year. We were sitting at the table having dinner, talking to him, and I'm thinking Cody has not changed in expressions the entire time. He did not. And I'm like, this guy's just dry. Mm-hmm. Y'all, that's the funniest guy I know.
He is hilarious.
But if you're not watching them, please go check out Bar 7 Ranch. Tell them
watch their shorts.
Tell them Chestnut Hill sent you. They're a lot bigger than us. But y'all got to find them on TikTok. That's the funniest thing you'll watch all day.
They got a massive TikTok following.
You will watch their TikToks all day. You'll get so hooked, you'll go down that rabbit hole and you'll spend your whole day watching Bar 7 Ranch TikToks.
Nick does.
I do.
And sends them to me.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Over.
Tell them what your deal is, Zoe.
So, Nick told me that if I can get us to 20,000 subscribers, I get 2 alpacas.
Y'all, she's got to hit the number.
We're gonna do it. So I'm gonna make a reel. And I don't know what I'm going to have to do on this reel to get me 20,000 subscribers.
Well, she can't have just one alpaca.
No, you have to get 2.
That you have to have multiple ones anyway. And that was the thing is that Erica said, no, you have to have more than one. She said, that's why I got 2. I got 2 comments out of Miranda Lambert.
A donkey, half zebra, half donkey.
No, we ain't going on all that. But so I told Erica, she said, what if Cody comments? I said, Zoe, Cody can pull out his phone right now and comment. That don't mean nothing. I was like, what does that mean? All you'll do is send Erica a message and say, hey, tell Cody to comment. That's not getting anything done.
Look, everybody's going to help. So Janet said she thought I wanted sheep.
Janet, we're doing sheep either way, so.
Alpaca's going to be my fun.
I want the sheep too. So the sheep are a done deal. That's coming.
Everybody needs novelty.
Christy said she lost over 2 hours of her life today watching their
It
TikTok.
is so. It
Y'all,
is. It is.
Cody's my idol because people love him
Bye, Matt. Bye, Miss Stone. Love you.
being a smart aleck.
Yep.
But then he said, people either hate him or love him because
Yes.
they'll hate him thinking he's serious.
That's right. Yeah.
And
She said sheep will eat fruit trees. Yeah, Gary learned.
oh
that
yeah, Gary told us
learned
that.
that the hard way. Didn't
So we've got to let them become mature trees because that's what I want them to do is keep the orchard clean.
Right.
And Gary told me at the Homestead Expo, he said, that is a lie. They ate an apple tree. I said, yeah, I saw that. And he said, make sure they're mature trees.
So I've got to figure out a reel that I can get to go viral, where I can get 20,000 subscribers. I only need 16. I only need 12,000 more.
12,000.
Actually, only really 11,400 more.
Yeah, we're above 8,600 now. Can y'all believe that?
I know.
Y'all remember when we were doing a drawing for hitting 2,500?
We're at 86.
And then we did a drawing for 5,000, and we're at 8,600. That's awesome.
Yep. So I've got.
Yes, Rayleigh Creative. We were at the Homestead Expo both years actually.
Yeah.
And
we just
we'll
put
be
out a video
again
on Monday. Or was it Tuesday? It was 2 videos ago about this last year or this past one, and at the end of it is the link for the one from last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got to come up with something creative so I can go viral and get me 11,000 more, and we'll do it.
But
we're gonna do it.
Yes, Zoe, not Sarah. You cannot start making duplicate accounts.
You can't tell her what to do. She is an adult.
Rayleigh Creative just mentioned Simple Life Reclaim
Yep.
and Ridge Life.
Yep, we met Ridge Life last year.
Ridge Life, we met Tim last year, and I actually sent him a message because every time I saw him this year, he was talking to somebody else, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't get you on video. I wanted to just congratulate you on the 25,000, and I just didn't get to. So I missed him. Simple Life Reclaimed, we didn't meet, but you found out who they were. And I was like, well, that's the ones that were standing right there beside us, and we didn't get a chance to meet them. We were talking to somebody else and didn't know who they were.
Alan said fall down. That got more views than anything for us.
Alan, it did. When Zoe passed out was a...
Well, for them, falling down, they got more views than anything for them. Well, you know what? Can I kind of give them an update on that now that we've got some answers?
Sure. Absolutely. If you want to, you go right ahead.
I didn't want to.
Baby, those notes are shot. I'll save them for the next time. Go ahead.
So, let's see. I'm just going to make sure I'm not. So, you guys know that I've kind of been having issues with passing out. We've thought that it first happened in December while we were live. Naturally, while we were live.
We were live, yes.
Well, I try not to talk about it a lot, but we've kind of known something has been off. And every time it's time for us to do something that is high energy or time consuming.
Anything strenuous.
That's a good word. Anything I've got to stand up for a long period of time. Anytime my heart rate goes up.
So, y'all just watched the video. So, you need to know that in Zoe's world, building the pig pen and driving T-post wasn't strenuous.
Why not?
You did fine.
You wasn't there. It took me 2 days. And it took me like...
I was like, how is Zoe driving these T-posts?
No.
But when it comes to anything that we're doing in the heat and it's fast paced and, more strenuous work is when she has an issue. I was sitting there thinking, I guess you took your time, but I'm sitting there thinking Zoe built nearly that whole pig pen by herself and she's been fine. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I had to sit down a lot.
Oh.
I did. I had to stop.
You must have just cut the camera off.
I did. So anyway.
She even had me fooled. She fooled y'all and she fooled me.
So I've gotten to where y'all see me yawning all the time, and it's kind of the running joke. When is Zoe going to start yawning? So I finally we were castrating pigs last weekend, and I passed out 2 or 3 times within an hour.
Well, not really passed out. You had to sit down
I
because you
passed
felt it
out
coming. You
once.
passed out once. You felt it coming and sat down.
So Nick said, "Look, I have got to have
MC,
you."
she's getting right there.
Yeah.
You're on it.
She said, Nick told me, he said, "I have got to have you. You have got to be dependable in these situations." And I do. And I told him, I said, "Nick, I don't know why I feel like this." He said, "Go to the doctor and let's figure it out because we've got a lot of work to do this summer." So I went to the doctor, and it all started back last summer. I don't know a whole lot of these technical numbers and all, but H1C, they ran a full panel. She said, "Your H1C should be 11. 11 is
11 to 14.
11 to 14 is normal range." She said, "When you came in and saw me last year, it was 10. She said, "Your H1C is 7.1. She said, "There is no blood in your body right now."
Y'all, Zoe had to be told that they start transfusions at 7, and she was at 7.1. She finally did something about it.
So
When she was tested at 10, which was already low, she got medicine and didn't even tell me. Didn't get it filled and didn't start taking it. And she never even told me she got it.
Well, it costs a lot, and I don't like taking that money out from our family. And I said, "Well, it'll get better. It's just part
It's medicine.
It's part of, having the gastric bypass. It's some of those things that have to adjust." And she said, "If you had waited another couple weeks, I would not be sending you home on medicine. I would be sending you to the hospital to have transfusions." So here I am. Have begun Lexapro for stress and anxiety because that is no doubt something I am definitely dealing with. And I'm also on a twice a day iron medicine. And I've got to take B12 shots because, y'all, I'm just depleted. There is nothing in me. No wonder I'm so tired. She said, "You just standing up is using all the blood you got to circulate." So every time a pig squeals, my heart rate jumps. So all the blood just goes to my heart and there's nothing left for me to stand up with. So it just made so much sense.
Catherine, I already told her that. It's not taking money away from the family to get medicine. But Zoe's hard headed and didn't tell me that she got prescribed anything. And I was like, "Well, why didn't they catch it?" She said, "Well, they did." But she didn't tell me.
Jody says she gets iron injections every 3 months. Tablets don't work. Well, she told me the tablets may not work. And if not, then we will go infusion way. So
Yeah.
anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that. I finally have some answers. Y'all don't really know that I've been dealing with that since I passed out in December live.
Well, Brooke and Cassie have both talked about their issues.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows that that's kind of how you got close to Cassie.
Yeah.
Was the same issues you were texting Cassie.
Yeah, we both deal with anxiety,
and that's how that
we cope with our anxiety the same way.
But y'all understand that she's working a farm in 100-degree weather in Alabama and no iron in her body. That's just, you can't do that.
Right. Well, I asked my gynecologist last week.
You can't do that.
I asked her about it, and she said, my doctor laughed when I told her. She said, "Well, you just need to exercise more." She didn't run a panel on me or anything.
Didn't do anything.
And Bella said, you don't exercise more when you're having heart issues like this. So anyway, we're gonna make it. I got a pig pen built. I harvested honey and then built some more pig pen. Y'all, it's just, we're gonna make it.
So Deborah asked, and it's a good question.
Yeah.
Why don't you ban pigs?
Okay.
So We have been through that, and I was wondering that same thing myself. And I had done some reading where some people did it,
Mm-hmm.
and they do not suggest banding pigs because of their anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you band a goat, for instance, their anatomy hangs away from their body. A pig does not.
No,
A
it's
pig's is up against their body.
right.
So banding,
You're actually stretching more skin and causing more pain
you
that way.
you do it's so a goat is almost painless to band.
Mm-hmm.
A pig would not be. It would be more painful and can actually cause more bleeding and
Yeah.
more damage, and it's just not something that they recommend. Can it be done? Yes, but
When
it's
you
not a good idea.
when you castrate pigs, they say pigs have two bad days in their life or two bad moments in their life. It's the moment you castrate them and the moment that they get slaughtered or
Yeah.
that they're gone. And
No, Betty, not Zoe had gastric bypass.
I did
She
in
did not
August
have.
of
Well, she was
2024.
asking if you had a
Yeah.
heart bypass. No, Zoe
No,
had a gastric bypass, and it just. But to answer your pig question, no, and Catherine's right. It doesn't work
always
a
work
lot of
right.
time.
Yeah.
The band will actually pop off, and now all you've done is cause pain and cut off the circulation to
To
it,
have
and
to
it
start
didn't
over
actually
again.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's just not recommended. It's doable, but it's not recommended.
Right.
I wanted to run through a little bit of this honey stuff.
Let me see what else I had.
Okay,
Well, people were asking about the pig pen. Have we gotten? You have not told Cliff about the pigs, and
I
he would like
know.
to
I'm
know
sorry, Cliff. Cliff, Zoe, and the kids are catching pigs tomorrow.
to put
We
them in their new pen.
So we have castrated some that we separated. We have some girls that are already separated. They will be catching the rest. I think we have about 10 left
Uh-huh.
to cut.
And actually, Catherine at G&G Farms is going to come and help us.
Catherine's going to help, but we have about 10 left to do. We were boy heavy on pigs and goats this year.
Yeah.
We have some people that are coming to purchase pigs. Um, we have some people that want some breeders, so there'll be some that are not castrated that are leaving.
But now that we have this hard pen, it's
That's right.
a semi-permanent pen. It could stay there if we want it to.
That's right.
I think everything's gonna be good now. We'll get them all caught and finished up, and just start selling and settling in with what we have.
Right. And y'all saw the last weaning pen we did hard panels
Right.
to do the training on the one strand, but we pulled it up because we wanted it in a different location. And this will probably be the same thing. Once they're there for a while, we'll pull all those panels up and have to build it somewhere else.
That's
But
right.
for now, that's going to be where the weaning pen is. And once all those piglets are off of it, if we can reseed it and leave it where it's at, then that's what we'll do.
If I don't take care of Mama, I could be taking a lot more from my family. That's true. It is true. And just having those answers really has helped a lot, because I know that we Nick has known that something's been wrong without just saying, "Hey, quit being lazy."
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
And I told her that.
yeah. And I the way that my body feels still and felt is not normal.
Well, it was just that we've had baseball every day this week. Zoe was cleaning out the barn, building a pig pen, all this while it's 90 degrees. Y'all haven't seen the video yet, but she did honey extraction.
Ooh,
The
it's hot.
barn had to be closed, so you have to have an enclosed area. And if you watched Miss Coghill video, they did it in her kitchen, so it was air conditioned, which is what we
That's
would do if it was
nice.
available.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you would do. But Ours was done in the barn, so they closed the barn area off, and they had a fan, but you're still talking about well up over 100
Yeah, it
degrees.
was warm. The fan, all it did was circulate the hot air.
So yeah,
Catherine said, "How'd I get the T posts up? I hammered them in the
with a
ground with a T
T-post
post
driver, how
driver."
you do it?
Well, we talked about trying to use the tractor, and me and Mackenzie tried to do it with the tractor, and it didn't work. The ground was so darn hard.
No.
It didn't work, and I was scared I was going to break the fork and everything. Yeah.
Well, you'd need number one. You'd need to put the bucket back on there because the forks move too
Yeah. And
much.
Kathy said if the problem persists, sounds like sleep apnea will affect the heart rate, shortness of breath, also symptom drowsiness. Would not hurt to have a cardiologist review. We will. That's the next step. If the iron does not come up, is to get with a cardiologist.
Yeah, she's going to.
She said with the puller. Huh.
You're putting it in the ground, not pulling it.
Yeah, no. You put it in the ground with a puller?
I don't know. Catherine's got me confused.
She's got all kind of tricks.
Catherine, you got me confused. I don't know what you're talking about. So, do you want to tell? She says very easy. Well, I'm gonna have to learn this trick from Catherine. That wind is getting up and it feels great too.
It does, but we got to
see our
moving in.
screen shaking. I want to surprise them with some of these.
Oh, if we move the post.
If we move the post, oh yeah, we just pull them up with a tractor and a strap. I just choke a strap on it and they pull them up.
Okay, what you got?
Everybody knows about the allergies thing, and that's kind of debated among honey. One of the benefits is taking raw honey for allergies, right?
Okay.
And Tanya even talked about that if you don't strain it too much, it has to have the pollen in it still for it to build up the effects. It's just like taking allergy shots. They actually give you a shot of what your allergy is,
right,
to build up your immunity. So that's in there. Did you know, and I wish Miss Daff was on here tonight.
Oh.
Jody might know, but in New Zealand, they use honey to treat wounds and burns, and it is actually approved for use by the FDA. Honey is used to treat wounds and burns.
Oh, that's cool.
Because of its anti-inflammatory properties.
You could be a honey farm for.
Well, listen to this. The anti-inflammatory stuff also is used to treat inflammation in the lungs, throat, and brain.
Wow.
Now, y'all, this is all raw honey. So make sure you're paying attention. Also, under anti-inflammatory, you use raw honey to treat mosquito and bites and bee stings.
Oh, so I should have put one
Your
on
bee
my
sting,
finger.
you should. Y'all, I had one pop me right between the eyes. Two, actually.
Well, poor little old red. Poor little old red. He got popped about 10 times on harvest day.
He did, and he was over bees.
He was ready to go. He said, "Take me to my Nana's house and leave me there."
He did.
We had them bees stirred up.
Watch this surprise.
Uh-huh.
It is used as a moisturizer. 2 teaspoons. This came from Reader's Digest. 2 teaspoons of honey and a tablespoon of olive oil, adding lavender or whatever other essential oils, can be used as a moisturizer and a body wash.
Ooh.
Don't that sound too sticky to be a body wash?
No.
But mixing it with olive oil, that is something they recommend. So this one I already knew that it's a cough suppressant and sore throats. You mix honey with lemon juice and blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But it's also, because it's such a heavy antioxidant, it's good for heart health. It lowers your blood pressure and it lowers your cholesterol. Did you know any of that?
No, I just like honey. She said
Jody said body wash there has honey in it.
In Australia.
Naturally, you would think this, but I didn't. But it's 80% sugar, 18% water, and the rest is vitamins, minerals, and proteins. So, Taking one
Spoon.
spoonful of honey a day will boost your energy.
Look at me. I got a whole jar and I ain't even took it.
Boost your energy simply by taking a spoonful of honey every morning because it's 80% sugar, but it's good sugar. It's not refined sugar. It's
Right.
raw honey,
Yes, it's
raw
healthy sugar.
wild honey.
Right.
So it's also used. I want you to listen very carefully to this. It is used to treat nausea and morning sickness,
Uh-huh. That makes sense.
and it also improves digestion. Taking honey before a meal helps you digest your food. So that's where it comes in for weight loss.
Yeah.
Something as that's 80% sugar helps weight loss because it's more filling and it's a natural sugar and not refined.
Right.
So it also, I got a couple more things for you. I mean, well, y'all, everybody knows honey is a superfood, but it treats dermatitis and dandruff.
Hmm.
I guess that's kind of the moisturizer thing.
Yeah. Right, because that's
Sure.
dry.
Everybody knows it boosts your immunity, so that's already out there. People know that honey works with
The immune system.
the immune system and works on your allergies and all that good stuff. It fosters the release of melatonin. It improves your sleep.
Oh,
I had not heard
you
that.
know what? We just need to get up every morning, take a spoon of honey, and take a
We
spoon at
just need to
night.
start
And
taking
before
honey.
every meal, we'll go through a jar in about 3 days.
I know. We're just going to have to start
We
taking
are.
honey.
Sue
I'm going to
said it
take
makes
honey.
everything slide down easy.
I'm going to take honey in the morning and at night. So, Ginger just said she's diabetic. And I did read on it, and I didn't put it in my notes. But it is used heavily in the diabetic community because of it being a natural sugar. That's how they get sweetened stuff without
That's right. Yes.
all these synthetic sugars that people don't know what it's doing to your body.
Yep.
So people will use raw honey
A lot.
instead.
A lot of the diabetic recipes that I've looked
Absolutely.
up. A lot of bread. Um, I've tried to start using for ourselves. When I make bread, I use the honey instead for all the properties that it gives us. Some people do not appreciate the value of honey and what it is, what it's worth, what it costs, or
No,
or the
they don't.
benefits.
So y'all understand that as long as it's not, and Tanya talked about this, if it doesn't have any moisture in it, she said, now if you want it to ferment and you're making mead, that's fine. But if you have good honey that there's no moisture in, or not excess moisture in, it never goes bad.
that's right. It's shelf stable for
Never.
as long as you've got it covered.
You have it from now on
That's right.
until it's gone.
It's because it's natural.
You know, I've read, and I don't know how true it is, but I read where they found some honey in like tombs and stuff that were thousands of years old, and it was the same.
Well, it's kind of along the lines of reading if the food has an expiration date, then it's not good for you.
I agree.
You'll never find an expiration date on honey.
If honey has an expiration date, then you need to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you need.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But, and Beth was mentioning the allergies part. If you watched Ms. Cog Hill's video, Tanya actually addressed that.
Mm-hmm.
That is, people are debating that. The problem with their debate is the fact that they are checking refined honey.
Well,
and it's got all the pollen strained out of it and it's processed. You don't want processed honey. We're talking about raw honey here. If it has the pollen from that area, then it helps build up your immune system.
well, on another branch of that is if I'm allergic to oak trees and my bee did not collect pollen
That's correct too.
from oak trees, then me taking the honey for my oak tree allergy is not going to be beneficial.
That's right.
And that's a big thing. People say, well, I'm allergic and I'm taking local. You're allergic to something that the bees did not collect pollen from.
That's right. Which is not likely. It's not likely that they're not going to get pollen from whatever you're allergic
Right.
to,
But if
but it's
it's
still
not
possible.
blooming in that season.
The people that tell you, well, I had no effects, I've been taking raw honey and I didn't have anything change, they weren't collecting pollen from whatever it is you're
Right.
allergic to.
That's it has to be local honey.
That's right.
If you're using it to treat your allergies. So for us, like this will be very beneficial for Rhett for his allergies for the things in the pasture. This will help him
That's right.
because it's from our pasture. It's from the pollen collected from our pasture.
Right.
But if you just want it for honey aspect as a sweetener or the vitamins and all, then it wouldn't matter where it came from.
You know what? I think we're going to do a video. Everybody doesn't hit on the lives.
No,
and people don't watch a lot of channels that do lives. They're just not interested in that kind of thing. We may need to do a video on the benefits of honey because
I wonder if I could get Tanya to sit down with us.
when I was reading it, I was like, you've got to be kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody is not taking a spoonful of this stuff every morning, every night.
That's right.
Because it talked about all kinds of things that it affected. I mean, it can decrease tumor growth and read, y'all. Look it up. I'm not making this stuff up.
Some people will go as far as to,
and I didn't even put that in the notes, but it talked about, and it's like Mayo Clinic studies. We're not talking about something off the internet. We're talking about like Mayo Clinic. Talked about it decreasing growth of tumors.
Well, some beehives also have collection plates on the bottom of the pollen that is dropped from the bees. And people will take that and that dropped pollen and sell it as well, because you can take that actual pollen itself and sprinkle it in your coffee or anything else, and you get a
I read that too.
solid version
of
the benefits that hasn't been gone through the process of honey.
I read that too. And the main thing I just want is that right there soaking on a big old cat head biscuit.
Oh, put it in your cornbread.
I don't like sweet cornbread.
You would like
Cliff, I do not like sweet cornbread.
Yes, honey should not mold either if it's in fact raw honey.
No, this is pure raw honey. Y'all, I have seen where it came from. I've seen the bees that did it.
That's right. So
I had two of them right between my eyes. I can tell you where this honey come from.
Isn't it beautiful? It just makes my heart happy. This is something I've wanted to do for a couple of years now, and Miss Tanya's just been, she's the bee's knees. How about that?
Are you ready to wrap up?
I am. I see Farmer Rhett. You want to let him close us out?
Come here.
Come here, Rhett.
I think he's dying to tell y'all hello. Do you want to tell them hey? Well, come here. Come on, tell them hey. What's the matter?
They've been
allergies still bothering you?
He's been rubbing.
I think he's been rubbing his eyes.
Come here, weak pea.
Tell them hey.
Tell everybody who you are. Who are you?
Farmer Rhett.
Farmer Rhett. You see his cheeks are red where he's been wiping his
Chris
face.
has got a question for you. How to keep it from crystallizing when it's been in a jar a while.
So if it's crystallized, that's okay. Crystallized honey can just be put out in a warm place and brought back down to a liquid state. We talked about that. Some people do get crystallized honey, and people sell it and will buy it like that.
Intentionally?
No, it's not usually intentional. It is, but it is used exactly the same. You just warm it a little bit, and it'll be right back in its liquid form.
Catherine said, put it in a warm water bath.
That's right, yeah. Or you could put it out in your car in the window.
Saying hey. Everybody saying hey, Farmer Rhett.
But you could put it out in the car window or, somewhere to allow the sun to warm it up a little bit. Everybody says, hey,
it said,
Farmer
hi, Rhett from Ontario, Canada.
Hello, Farmer Rhett.
You're not talking. You just waving.
You want to tell them about the bees? Tell them what we did with the
Well,
bees.
tell them how many times you got stung, Rat. Was it
4?
just 4?
This is 6 times.
That's 6 times.
Miss Catherine's gonna come help you when we have to do pigs. Miss Catherine's gonna
She
come
says
help.
she's coming to see you this week, Rat. He
ain't
loves him some Catherine.
Yeah, he ain't
He's
got
probably
whole lot
about
to say.
half asleep.
He is. He's ready to take a nap. He said earlier. This coughing's got the best of him. Yeah, I'm glad he is not allergic either. Y'all, my mama heart skipped several beats. I had walked over, when you've got that many hives and they're angry because you've come in and bothered them, I walked over to separate myself from the bees so I could let them kind of work their way back to the hive, and that didn't quite work. And so I went back over to the hives, and it was about 10 minutes later, Rhett went over to where I was, which was at the picnic table, and the bees did not follow me. So they ended up finding Farmer Rhett and said that he was yummy and they needed to give him lots of kisses. Right? And
Is that what happened?
You didn't like their kisses, did you?
No, the kisses mean they're stinging.
That's right.
Yes, that's what it means. Chris wanted to know if there's a way to stop it from crystallizing.
I think crystallized honey.
Is it just storing at the wrong temperature?
No, crystallized honey has to do with the way that it was harvested. It is not. It's not anything to do with. Excuse you. You wouldn't. The only way you would keep it from crystallizing again is to keep it really warm, and you don't want to do that either.
I'd just let it crystallize.
I would just pull out however much you need and warm it, just not in the microwave, right? A natural way, water,
like
warm water, sunlight, and let it come back to a liquid state. Because naturally, the warmer honey is, the more it's going to flow freely, which was a benefit for us when we were harvesting because it was so warm in there.
That's right.
That honey just flowed, and it was so pretty. Christina said, "Thanks for giving her cooties."
You gave her cooties,
on the
Red.
camera.
Gah. You don't give her cooties.
His little face is chapped.
His little cheeks is red.
You want to tell him your words, and we'll see him next time.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Chestnut Farmstead. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe. Bye.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We went a little bit longer tonight, but we have had a blast with you all. And we'll see y'all. We got a honey video coming out Tuesday.
Coming out on Tuesday.
And we'll see y'all on Sunday. Tell them bye.